Start with a story because usually it's not where you start, it's where you finish, right? So we purchased this company and it's really focused on video technology. One of only a few companies in the world that do it. And one of the things that was driving me nuts, one of the nonprofits I run, I was sitting, in my office one day and I get a text from one of our interns and she says, "Hey, please pray for me right now. I'm under the table at UNC Chapel Hill and there's a shooter across the street." And my heart just sunk, you know? And it's like, man, someone's got to do something about this. We can't arm all our teachers with AK-47s. That's not going to work out.
Mhm.
We've got to do something. We've got to shine some light on the problem. And so we got to work and we started working with the chief of police in Washington, D.C. I got to personally work with them to reinvent the 911 phone call, as one does. But what has happened is when you place a 911 phone call, you are calling on telephony. So the worst part of your phone, isn't it ironic? It's your phone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That's on
Yep.
telephony. It's an ancient technology. Now what'll happen is you'll get a text, you'll tap it, and you'll instantly get to point your camera. Now that all smartphones have cameras at the situation and live from the citizen's camera, it can go right to the police car or fire truck. It's called situational awareness, so they can see what they're driving into. And so we've been working on that, building that. It's been going across campuses and back to the roots, right? Of running home services. Like, well, who else could use a technology like this where you just send a text and tap it and you can see, what's going on. Instead of just blind talking to someone, I can now see. And I met a guy who's very serious in the moving industry. He runs moving conferences, and I was actually trying to disrupt the self storage industry first, and that's a whole nother story. But I got on with this guy, and he's like, "James, you got no idea what you've got in your hands there." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We will use this for virtual estimates and documentation, where I don't have to roll a truck out somewhere because it's the most expensive thing I do as a business owner. I put a guy on who's got an hourly wage in the hopes that we close the deal and he's in my truck, he's got gas money and he's unproductive while he's behind the wheel of the truck. I still got to do it because I got to get the money." He's like, "Now we'll just do it virtually." And he was so right.